The community of Fairview was originally established in the 1950s on the southern edge of Calgary as a suburban community. However, due to Calgary's expanding footprint, it is now considered inner city. Its current placement within the city is in the heart of Calgary's light industrial area, bordered by 4 major roads: Glenmore Trail, Blackfoot Trail, Heritage Drive, and Macleod Trail. In more recent years, Fairview has experienced a resurgence in popularity with its renovated arena, community arts center, parks, and playgrounds. As Calgary continues to grow and change, so must the role of Fairview in response to it. These amenities, in addition to others, have matured Fairview's identity not only as a suburban community, but more importantly, as a more animated and sustainable system within the city.
The total population of Fairview is approximately 3,800 people who reside in just under 1,600 dwellings, 1,200 of which are single detached homes and 340 are apartments. According to 2011 census data, the median age of Fairview residents is 41. Despite the older demographic in comparison to the rest of the city, Fairview has been experiencing an increase in younger families that are moving into the community. More than half of the census families consist of only 2 people, with 24% containing 3 people and 21% having 4 or more people. These statistics exemplify Fairview's low density in comparison to other neighborhoods. According to City of Calgary projections, Fairview's population is expected to grow approximately 8% by 2042, whereas Calgary is expected to grow 50%. As such, Fairview is able to sustain its low-density RC1 zoning throughout the majority of the community, as well as its small-town charm. Along with its changing demographic, homes in Fairview are experiencing revitalization. Nearly all of the houses in Fairview are single-level bungalows built in 1950s and 1960s, with the exception of a few split-level homes. As new residents move into the neighborhood and an increasing number of homes are being restored and refinished, some units have been completely rebuilt in a noticeably different style, leading to controversy among residents and the threat of Fairview losing its identity. Fairview Community Association was established as a non-profit organization in 1960 with only an outdoor rink and a sports shack. In 1972, an indoor rink was built, and 4 years later, a large hall and another 2-level hall was added. As the community base grew older, participation and volunteers dropped drastically, resulting in Fairview needing to amalgamate with other communities to maintain operations. The high school, the elementary school, and the arena all share a field just south of the center of the community. Attached to the arena is a community association building and the Fairview Indefinite Arts Center. There have been several community initiatives, including fundraisers to help revitalize the various playgrounds in Fairview. This is one of the few communities in Calgary which has its own bowling alley. Fairview is considered as a community that has a vast potential for the development of secondary suites. However, this leads to areas of contentions among residents. With the addition of secondary suites, there would need to be additional parking, which would occupy more space in the streets. Absentee landlords are another problem the community association would struggle with to keep the community acquainted and more close-knit. Communities surrounding Fairview have also taken a strong stand against the secondary suites.
Fairview is bordered by a number of large businesses which draw a larger customer base than just the community. Big box stores such as Winners and Auto Value dominate the massive strip mall just off Heritage Drive. However, once in the community, Fairview is filled with surprisingly niche local businesses, giving the neighborhood a unique identity. Trading card shops, wood shops, and dog training facilities are the types of businesses that most other suburban neighborhoods do not have. Food business is also quite distinct in the sense that there were next to no franchise restaurants or grocery stores. Donair shops, Vietnamese sub shops, and Korean restaurants are examples of this. Specific businesses like these usually tend to be closer or within the downtown core. Newer suburbs don't tend to have unique necessities. Instead, they usually have what is minimally needed to give people what they require, such as large grocery stores and fast food chains. The nearby Acadia area further expands this abundance of unconventional businesses. Fairview residents have quick access to small pubs and restaurants just outside their community. The Fairview Community Association has made efforts to highlight the local qualities of the community through the Fairview Business Initiative. It allows these small, otherwise hidden and charming businesses to get their names out further and highlight what makes the community and the business scene one of a kind on the suburban scale. Fairview's job opportunities consist of mostly light industrial type. Industrial companies include wood shops, automotive repair, and landscaping. Fairview and its surrounding area serve as light industrial hubs in the city for such businesses, offering numerous job opportunities and services within contracting and similar work. There are some hidden mobile subcontracting companies that don't operate out of a store and often place their company cars in front of their homes. Although Fairview does provide job opportunities, the majority of the residents commute to work outside of the community.
The laneway that runs parallel with Franklin Drive draws a definitive line between the industrial and residential zones. This harsh border lines the backs of 42 single-family dwellings and 11 industrial properties, creating a fissure between industrial and residential areas that effectively divides the community. This conflict is reflected through multiple areas of the community. For example, Flint Road, which skirts a playground area and an off-leash dog area, exhibits a high volume of automobile traffic and a lack of sidewalks. The poor union of these two necessary elements within Fairview poses a very real threat to the well-being of pedestrians. As such, the jarring relationship between these two autonomous systems has created controversy amongst residents. In order for the system of Fairview to move towards a sustainable future, it must better integrate its dense, bustling, and unpleasant industrial component with the quieter and more comfortable residential component.
Fairview exists as a community with charm and qualities that are often lacking in peripheral suburban neighborhoods. At the moment, it is currently a hidden gem in emergence. However, there are definitely areas for improvement, as well as ideas that could be pursued or identified further to assist in the refinement of the established community. The harsh divide between the residential and industrial area is very pronounced, leaving residents who live on the polarizing border with loud industrial noise and unpleasant visuals out of their windows. Perhaps a buffer zone of non-industrial businesses or even simple landscape design could better integrate the two systems. The future of the community should emphasize the introduction of more green space aspects such as garden plots and sidewalk buffer zones to make pedestrian commuting less intimidating, particularly in the industrial areas. The introduction of more local business and activities, while still maintaining the older shops, would assist in the transition of age groups that Fairview is experiencing, considering the increasing number of young families moving in. Overall, the community of Fairview emphasizes many desirable qualities that one would look for in a peripheral neighborhood, which most new suburban communities do not provide, including small local businesses, unique amenities, and a charming residential layout. However, as the system of Calgary continues to change, Fairview must also adapt in new ways to remain both relevant and sustainable within the city. Sidewalk additions, green spaces, and urban amenities will serve to make Fairview a more viable and sustainable neighborhood to live in at every scale.